What is going on here? What did Jason? I actually put plugs on it. You put it there, quick release plug. That makes sense. Yeah. Got it. Good way to do it. Hey Jace, there's only one fuse in it.
It's the fuse I need right now.
It's the only fuse you need.
Yep.
Whilst Jace's been doing the Prado, I'm making lights go when I push a button. It's really, really technical stuff there.
Kelvin's year of the achievement, making a light bulb go.
Two lights.
2 LEDs go.
Yes, reversing too. So Jace has been working through here, just sorting all those little bits and pieces that make an engine nice. Getting ready to make it run. We've still got the relays and fuses to go. We thought we'd do some setup. We can check oil and oil leaks and oil pressure and all those other bits and pieces that can be sorted. And get everything done in one go when we do the relays and fuses. Did you have a alternator light when you turn the key on now?
Yep. Sure, check light too.
Oh, no, I got a timing belt light, not a check light yet.
Hold up.
We've got lock hubs, but we do have that alternator light. That's quite nice, isn't it? Well done. And you said that it was special that I made a light go. What are you trying to do? You're trying to make lights go. Thanks. Oh, that's the plug for the check light and
Taco.
Maybe a taco?
Yeah.
You're thinking that's the factory taco?
Well.
Oh, yep, we got a check light. Yep. Hey Jace, you also made a light go. There's your accomplishment. So this one's running on a G4X. We're using a Storm. What would be the advantage of using a Storm over a Monsoon? On a boosted engine.
Storm over a monsoon.
Yeah.
You get sequential injection and sequential.
Yeah. That's enough for me. And knock sensors. 2 knock sensors. So I buzzed in a tune for you, that last Storm that you wired. That was NA. The one you set up that went to Australia. That was your one. Mm-hmm. And then I buzzed in over top of that Murray's van tune, his high ace van. Because the high ace van had 15 pounds of boost and 440cc injectors, which is pretty close. Even though it was on a G4 platform. I buzzed the same tuning and same ignition timing. So it should give us close enough to start it.
It's already 3 oil pressure. The oil pressure is going to be GB output, isn't it?
Yeah. The oil, yes, it'll be a no, it won't. It'll actually be a GP PWM, pulse width modulation, to run the factory oil pressure gauge. Not we can see it. It's a bit dark in here. You don't need to do that yet because it's not wired up. So, see, this is the earth point for other things. You're using your test light to that earth point. Must be good for fuel pumps. We were sorted out for the fuel pump too. The guys helped us out. There should be some Teflon lined hose coming.
Oh, cool.
To cover you for pulling that fuel tank out a second time. Lucky you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's better that it happens to us.
Yeah.
In our workshop, in a controlled situation. And at the end of the day, this one's been a bit of a mess, but nothing's really gone wrong, has it? It's just been lots to do. Everything you've done has been bloody top notch and it's just flowed nicely. You do your setup, I'll go make my lights go again. Just turn the key on, which isn't the key. What's on analog volt 2? Oil pressure.
Oil pressure?
Oil pressure.
Oil pressure or fuel pressure?
Oh, fuel pressure.
Fuel pressure. That's not connected to anything.
That'll be why it's throwing a fault code, Jace.
Turn it off.
Yeah, I'll turn off the codes. Bluetooth.
And there's no, and the analog gauge
Doesn't connect.
It doesn't connect very well.
Nah, it doesn't connect to that gauge.
Right, you ready?
Turn the key on.
It's on. Crank trigger in it?
What crank trigger's in it, Jace? Roger, 1UZ VVTI. Right. Try again. Yeah, that's looking good. I think it needs a little bit more fuel.
What? Sorry, what was that?
I think it needs more fuel. It's alive! So we have it running, but we can hear there's a few issues. Make a couple of adjustments, and fire it up. Have a listen in the background, there's this whistle noise. So we can both hear this, start randomly looking for what that whistle is.
That was exciting!
Ghost! Right,
That was exciting, what were you doing? Because that was...
I just...
The bypass valve like opened and...
Yeah, I don't know, I know idle bypass is possibly just a little bit high at the moment.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. But also we got a throttle body there's no throttle stop set properly yet because it didn't have an idle speed, remember.
Rude.
So of course any idle speed we give it's going to give it lots more. Unplug it. Unplug the stepper.
Noise, I'm not enjoying this.
Yeah, is it that lower intake manifold? So with the noise squealing in our ears, we get some brake clean. We start just putting it around any point that we think that air might be entering that engine, causing that squeak, high-pitched squeak. We just work our way through until we get into that throttle body and locate the exact spot that makes the noise change. And try to isolate that spot. Here it is. Right there, Jace. Oh, that's good. Not supercharger.
That's
Not the
easy.
manifold.
That's easy.
Woo! That's lucky. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Maybe why I had two gaskets on it.
That'll be why I had two gaskets on it. That surface won't be flat.
Nah, it won't be flat at all.
So
And the
build
throttle
it.
body moves like quite a bit.
Moves a bit. Alright. Big gasket. Oh, silicon! We'll go get the 10 tubes of silicon.
I think a little bit of silicon might be alright in this one. Just a tiny bit.
Let's go get that 0.5. Oh, yeah. Find that 1.5 gasket paper.
Yeah.
It runs. It actually sounds okay. Seems to idle. Nice now. Better than it did before.
The fucking noise, yeah, well, fuck, even with that horrible noise.
Yeah, mate. Good, well done. We're going to do some base timing.
Why didn't it start before? Timing's out.
Just fueling and timing. I've changed the timing just a couple of degrees. So we'll do that base timing.
Oh, my ears.
Right, well done. Well done. Come back in. Oh, the noise is gone! Can you give it another point of master fuel, please? it likes that. We have to wind that idle down now. What's the idling at?
1700.
Yeah.
1800.
By giving it more master fuel. Put the idle speed up. Brum, brum, brum. That's looking right there to me. And what sort of boost are we making?
I made 5 pound on the gauges here.
Made 5.
Yeah. Hey, Kelvin, you know how you made a light go today?
Yep.
I made a vehicle run.
Yeah, I made 2 lights. 2 lights go.
I made a vehicle run and the light go.
That's sounding heaps nicer. That. It's nice to have an end team. We can actually see what's going into that engine now. 63's up there just idling. See what it's like when it's moving. Sounds pretty good. Idle's nice. Start's nice. On just some base numbers.
I reckon if I turn it off, it'll start again.
Do you reckon it'll turn off, it'll start again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon if you turn it off, it'll start again now.
Yeah.
Unlike we used to. Turn it off, it won't start ever. Okay. 22s have resistors in them.
Maybe.
And the bypass is working like it should too. Someone's hot wired a fan to it. Woohoo! Well done. Throw some relays at it. Sort of a few other little bits and pieces. We'll go for a drive. Woohoo! I'm glad that E-Leak was just the throttle body, because that would have been shitty otherwise, especially knowing that that manifold isn't right.
Yeah. 30 degrees.
30 degrees in the throttle body, 60 degrees under the supercharger. That's all right for a supercharger. It'll be way more once you're cranking it, but hopefully we'll have some cold air too.
Yeah, hopefully the intake helps.
Yeah, so that is a problem on those little M90s. They pump lots of heat, but it's only got 7.5 pounds of boost.
Yeah.
Though now it'll actually make power at 7.5 pounds of boost. Not like before. That's the wrong kind of wire. You can't use welding wire.
You can use welding wire.
What are you using welding wire for?
Use your fucking mind. Not welding.
Not welding? How did you get this wire out? This big long one that looks like it runs from, it looks like it ran right along the wiring loom, like right along the guard.
My little muscles.
Did I teach you bad habits?
No.
You just pull it really hard. Same as this one. I had to do this one. This is a little short one that Calvin does, because he only had enough muscles to pull the little short one out. And this is the Jason one, which is much, much longer. And it literally, it was coming out of here, and it went right along in the loom right up over here. It is a bit dark, but down in there are some relays and fuses now. Instead of the big jumble that was there, we have the aftermarket fuse box, which is like the main power supply. And we had a small problem. We decided we'd take out the power supply to the EFI circuit. Well, we had to reintegrate that, because that wasn't quite right, was it, Jace?
Yeah, it turned out that I took power out from other places.
Yeah.
There was no power in here anymore.
No.
I was like, there should be power at this wire. I'm like, there's not. There's none in here.
There was power there yesterday, the day before, when I tested it, before we cut that wire out. And
Follow your instructions.
yep, you did.
Wire out.
There's this wire here. Now that wire there, that's for the temp gauge. So we've got the temp gauge wire, where it goes back into the vehicle, is a black-orange wire. Toyota have a habit, black reds and black oranges are generally power supplies or ignition. And that wire has a very strong ignition on it, doesn't it?
Apparently.
But when we put the test light on it, it makes the temp gauge go, and the temp gauge was connected to it.
Oil pressure.
Oh, sorry. I'm lying. So the oil pressure gauge would go up. The temp gauges are yellow-green. Yellow-green. So the black-orange makes the oil pressure go. But it's normally ignition. And when we leave it connected, the ECU stays powered up. Because it runs, we're going to PWM out of the ECU, and it makes the ECU stay on. When you turn the key off, the ECU stays on. And Jace was blaming my relays. So he has learnt the difference today between changeover and normal relays. Was I talking about the little black-red wire, the black-orange wire? Or relays? I'd moved on from relays. So the little black-orange wire, black-orange is normally ignition feed in a Toyota. And it's got a very strong ignition on it. And when we have that connected to the ECU stays on after we turn the key off, which is bad. And I was thinking about that, and that just doesn't make sense, because I've done this plenty. But a good sleep and a bit of time to think, and a man on the internet asking a question why his temp gauge wasn't working, and I thought, there it is, it's an earth. So when they take out the engine loom, there's an earth that runs from the dash to the engine loom plug, and earth's on the engine, and it affects the dash. So we need to find that.
What?
That earth. That's not there, because the engine's...
The earth's on the sump. The wire's on the sump.
No, that's a different earth.
Same earth.
No, this is an earth that doesn't run from the dash. There's normally factory. There's one that runs from the dash, thanks.
This one had the earth on the sump still there.
Yeah, and that's why they put it on, to make it work. But it doesn't work with, that was with the old sender. It was backwards. It was actually feeding through the power, through a power feed through the, up in there. Because these dashes are funny, and they have a...
Yeah. Funny? Or...
Not much funny actually at the moment, because we have to find what the guys have done. You found every other problem in this vehicle, Jace. Hopefully. Maybe. You've cut most of it out. There's not much left.
There's a chance we might have cut the other wire out too.
No, I don't think that is.
It's probably in that plug down there.
It's in that plug down there, yes. That's where it is. There'll be an earth, and that plug down there, that's not earthed. And I do have actually some diagrams for a Prado, because you've just wired this with... You're starting to do them like me, Jace, without diagrams. Because diagrams don't really help you when it's such a mess.
Alright, without diagrams.
Hmm.
Well, I found the taco wire, but the taco doesn't work.
And where's the taco attached to, Jason?
Computer.
And to the dash.
But why did it work when I flicked it with the test light?
Yeah, no, there's an issue there. It'll be the same deal. It won't take the low level signal like it should. Yeah. That's very inconvenient timing. It is looking so much nicer in there, Jason. You've done well. You've done fantastically well.
It should start now.
Have you actually put any proper tuning numbers in it yet? That's not bad. That's no idle speed either. No idle speed control yet.
It's plugged in now.
Yeah, but it's like the
Started better than it did the other day when it wasn't plugged in.
the idle speed's at 5. I think I just put 5 across the board.
Well, 5 seems to work.
5. We'll give it some proper numbers, and we'll put a proper tune in it, and actually put some test gear on it, so it's not a tuned by ear.
Tuned by nose.
In by nose, yeah. We literally have just thrown some numbers out of a twin turbo high ace van into this from a G4 Plus, and it's good enough to get it running and doing what we're doing on it, and then we'll get out and tune it.
Stuff.
Yeah, do that.
It seems to work, so.
No, you've done really well. Really, really well. Also fitted a fuel pressure sensor. Gone is the gauge, and that will allow us to alter the tune nicely, and that'll give better compensations.